From One Stranger to Another by Squadron Gal.
Between the darkened shadows of the night, moonbeams fell through the canopy, leaving specks of light along the forest floor. And among the gentle winds and chirping of crickets, there was the piercing sound of leaves and twigs crunching under boots. A woman, clad in red and black, holding a sword at her hip, walked along the path leading deeper and deeper into the heart of the forest. Growing up, she had always known the forests of Mistral, with its tall trees and thick greenery. But they were wilds, and not a safe place for the faint of heart. Grim crawled freely and killed as they pleased, while in Patch, the forests were quiet, safer, and dare she say, peaceful. As much as danger seemed to follow her, and as much as she felt the duty to return to it, she admitted liking the occasional silence and white noise of the world. There was more crunching in the forest, something running up behind her. She could hear its footsteps, light and quick, too light to be a grim, but not nearly quick enough to be an animal. No, she was being followed by a person. And just before she could turn around, she heard her. "Raven!" Raven turned her head, red eyes glaring back at the girl, now panting behind her. She stood below one of the many moonbeams, the paleness of her skin and the white of her cloak making her glow in the dark. Under any other circumstance, Raven may have found her beautiful. But right now, she was blinding. She was torture. She sneered. "What are you doing here, Summer?" "I could ask you the same question." Raven knew damn well where this conversation was heading. So she turned her head forward, away from Summer, so she wouldn't have to look her in the eye when she eventually asked. "Raven, you can't seriously be leaving, can you?" Raven's hand twitched on her hilt. "I have to." "Why?" "I can't answer that." "Why not?" "Because it was too damn complicated, that's why." The woman contemplated telling Summer her reason. But even then, where would it even begin? When her twin brother ran off to Beacon to become a huntsman? When they both ended up enrolled in Beacon Academy despite Raven's obvious resentment for the establishment and its staff? When she foolishly grew attached to her silver-eyed partner? When she even more foolishly fell in love with Ty, their team goofball? When she idiotically had a child with him? When she oh so fucking stupidly grew to love and care for these people she promised she would leave behind forever? No, it would start with him. That man, that scoundrel, that Ozpin. Through his stupid spectacles and behind that graying hair, she knew. She knew the ugly truth about that man, that school, the bloody kingdoms. She never truly liked the Huntsman Academies to begin with. Being raised by bandits did that to you. But knowing the truth, that they were nothing but pawns, the atrocities that man had committed and planned to commit, and how everyone believed in him, even Crow. "You wouldn't understand," she answered. Summer clutched her fist before responding. "You're right. I don't understand." Her head whipped around, staring desperately into Raven's back. "I don't understand why you would leave your team over a band of killers and thieves." Raven's head whipped around. "How did you?" Crow and Raven being raised by bandits wasn't a secret between Stark, but Raven had made it specific, and in her mind a damn good attempt at keeping her departure a secret. She'd be in bed next to the father of her child that night, and would be out of their lives by the morn. The only one even remotely close to reading her emotions was... "Crow told you, didn't he?" Summer straightened. "He told me enough." Raven cursed under her breath. "Raven," Summer began, I know this tribe raised you, and I understand you may feel obligated to return to them. But you have a family now, a man who loves you and a daughter. Me and Crow, we're all here for each other. And I know raising a child might be scary, but again, we're here for each other. We can help you through this.
That has nothing to do with this!
The forest fell silent. No crickets, no wind, not a single creature moved or even dared to breathe as the echo of Raven's voice faded in the distance.
This place isn't right, Summer.
Raven took a step toward her.
That place you call a haven is a lie. The cause you claim to be fighting for is a sham. That man you trusted to lead us is a fraud.
What are you talking about?
He's using us, Summer. He's using all of us, and I refuse to be a pawn in his game. It's only a matter of time before everything falls apart, and I'm not sticking around to be stuck in it.
Raven, you're not making any sense. Tai and Yang, you just leave them? Raven's emotions were complicated when it came to this matter. She knew she loved Tai, but also had no desire to love or be loved. It was strange how the silly little emotion worked, making you love someone no matter how much you may want to or otherwise. And then there was Yang, her one and only daughter. A mistake. They say the connection between a mother and a child is unlike any bond in the world, and Raven had always been suspecting of that notion. If a mother's tie to her child was so strong, then why didn't her and Crow's mother stick around? Her point only proven after Yang's birth. She had held the child in her arms, tiny violet eyes opening to her, and had felt like she was holding a stranger rather than her own child. Her team had merely suspected her lack of emotion due to exhaustion, but despite all that, they had connected to her, so she felt obligated to keep them safe. Yang deserves to grow up like any normal child would. The life of a bandit wouldn't be right for her, and gods know Tai wouldn't be up for it, so he'll stay and take care of her for me. Summer looked at Raven, utterly perplexed. You just leave him? The man who loves you more than anything in the world, and you'd leave him to take care of a child all alone?
He won't be alone, Raven replied. He'll have Crow, and he'll have you.
The dark woman looked to the ground, as if a sudden thought crossed her mind. Unless, another step forward. You come with me. Summer blinked in confusion. What?
You're special, Summer. And Ozpin will no doubt want to make use of you too. He can't be trusted. Her red eyes bored into Summer's silver ones as she held out her hand. If you come with me, you'll be safe and out of the kingdom's reach. You can protect our tribe. And I can protect you.
The girl in white took a step back, eyes never leaving her partner's. No, she stated quietly. I won't leave Crow and Tai like that. And you shouldn't either.
Raven's hand dropped, her expression hardening. So sentimental, she spoke to the sky. You cared too much for our mess of a team. That's the only reason we kept together. She looked to her, face softer. That's what made you special. Summer fell silent. She knew enough about Raven to know that she often meant more than what she said, and to hear such genuine words really touched her, to a point where she felt a pain throbbing in her chest as Raven turned her back again. So do me a favor and take care of Tai for me, and make sure my brother doesn't do anything stupid. As for Yang, well, she's your guys' responsibility now. Twigs crunched under her boot as she began walking again. Summer quickly bolted up to her. Wait! Grabbing Raven by her shoulder. You were always so incredibly smart and skilled. When I saw you fight for the first time, I knew. That's the type of huntress I want to be. You inspired me so much. You're the reason I am where I am now. You say Stark stayed together because of me. But I think you're wrong, Raven. You're my best friend. And Stark sticks together because we're friends. No, we're family. So please. Her grip tightened. Don't leave me. Don't leave your family behind. Raven made no response to Summer's plea. As the crickets and the wind returned, she nudged Summer's hand off her shoulder, walking forward as a large crimson portal opened before her. A large red eye staring into a dark abyss. She brought a ghoulish grim mask to her face, not looking back at Summer Rose. From this moment on, we're strangers. Be sure no one follows me. And with that, she walked into the red eye, disappearing in the blink of it. Raven.